Back here in Brooklyn, as we are just 2 days away from PBC on Fox, a triple header in the heavyweight division. Over the past several years, the heavyweight division has come back, and I feel like it is once again at its apex, and we have 3 exciting heavyweight showdowns in store for you this upcoming Saturday. For those of you that are local, tickets are still available, and you can go ahead and purchase them at the American Express box office at Barclays Center or Ticketmaster.com or BarclaysCenter.com. Just taking a look at what we have on tap on Saturday night in our main event of the evening. Heavyweight undefeated from Poland, now living here in New York, Adam Kownacki will go head-to-head against Robert Helenius. Awesome. We have a matchup featuring Efe Ajagba, who's been wiping out his adversaries. He will have his hands full against Razvan Kajanu. And then, to open up the telecast, Cuban heavyweight sensation, also undefeated Frank Sanchez, will put his skills to the test against the hard-hitting Philadelphia's own Joey DeVaco in a 10-round matchup. It's all being brought to you by TGB Promotions and presented by Premier Boxing Champions. The one thing I'll say about Barclays Center is that, to me, it is the crown jewel for sports and entertainment here in the Northeast. And with that, you need a promoter to do an amazing job. And TGB Promotions, Tom Brown is not here. Brittany Goosen-Brown is around here somewhere. Let's give her a round of applause. She's somewhere probably on her phone working very hard. There she goes. Brittany Goosen-Brown working very hard. She does an excellent job. But as I talked about, when it comes to Barclays Center, to me, one of my favorite venues in the entire world for combat sports and sports. You know, they have a wonderful staff from top to bottom. And right now, I want to bring up the Executive Vice President of Programming and Development for BSE Global. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the dapper-dressed Mr. Keith Sheldon.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you for the kind words about Barclays Center as well. As we all know, Brooklyn boxing is at its best when we have heavyweight fights in the ring, and this Saturday certainly brings no shortage of that. Adam, you built your career in our ring at Barclays Center, and we're thrilled to see you headline your second show. With 9 wins in our arena, I think it's safe to say Barclays Center has become a second home to you, and we're excited to see you put on an electric show in front of your hometown fans of Brooklyn. Robert, welcome to Brooklyn. I think you'll find the atmosphere at Barclays Center electric, and we're excited to see you put on a great show as well. Efe, it's been a pleasure meeting you, getting to know you. We're excited about your fight. We welcome you to Brooklyn again. Your last 2 fights, you've been undefeated, and I know the fans are looking forward to seeing another great fight. Razvan, Frank, Joey, we're happy to have you here in Brooklyn and wish you the best of luck on your first card at Barclays Center. To all the fighters, it's an incredible opportunity to showcase your world's talents in front of a Fox primetime audience, while Barclays Center continues to demonstrate to the world our steadfast commitment to the sport. March 7th will be our second PBC fight this year and our 3rd fight in the last 4 months. This further demonstrates our steadfast commitment to our boxing program and the sport in general. A big thank you to PBC. Our partnership continues to flourish and consistently brings great matchups to the market. Saturday night, these heavyweights will certainly be no different. I'd also like to thank Fox. Barclays Center, we pride ourselves in being in the big event business, and there's nothing bigger than a primetime heavyweight fight on Fox. And finally, thank you to TGB and Swanson Communications for all your terrific work. As always, I look forward to seeing everybody at Barclays Center on Saturday night. Looking forward to some great fights. Thank you.
Keith is so good he could run for political office with the way he sounds. So thank you very much to Keith Sheldon from Barclays Center. Now let's get into the 6 combatants that will be displaying their talent on Saturday night, PBC on Fox, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time here at Barclays Center. This man, a record 20 wins, 7 losses, 4 draws, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. He has gone up against the slew of top heavyweights throughout his career. Most recently won a decision over Rodney Hernandez back in July. Not only has he put his skills to the test in the ring in competition, but also he has literally been in training camps with everybody in the heavyweight division. You know, you hear about urban legends when it comes to some of the gym wars. And for those of you that are new to boxing or are, you know, casual boxing fans, you know that when they have these sparring sessions, these gym wars, they stay confidential, but there have been things that have been said that Joey DeVaco is a bad man, and he has given some tough times to some of the world's best heavyweights. And no doubt, he's an exciting fighter. He comes to us from the rich boxing city of Philadelphia, PA. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Joey DeVaco.
Thank you, everybody. I want to thank PBC for allowing this opportunity for me. I want to thank my manager, Mark Ciparone, and Rocco's Collision Club 1957 Management. A couple years ago, this guy changed my life and gave me an opportunity to be great again. And Frank Sanchez, I mean, I know a little bit about him. I know they're trying to move him fast, but I think they took the wrong fight right now. They should have waited a couple more fights for me. I'm going to prove that Saturday night. I'm in great shape. I had a great camp with my trainer, Justin Fortune. I just can't wait, man. I'm ready. Can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Joey DeVaco from Philadelphia. Now we will meet the man who will be standing across the ring from Joey DeVaco this Saturday to open up PBC on Fox. He is 27 years of age from Guantanamo, Cuba. Added 4 victories to his 2019 campaign, including his first 10-round fight when he defeated Jack Mulwine by unanimous decision back in October. He's undefeated, 14 wins, no losses, 11 wins coming by way of knockout. And no doubt, he is transfixed on climbing up the ranks in the heavyweight division. And Cuba has a rich boxing tradition, especially in the amateur ranks. But the one thing that is missing from that rich boxing tradition is that they've never had a heavyweight champion of the world. Last year in June, Andy Ruiz became the first fighter of Mexican descent to become the heavyweight champion of the world, and Frank Sanchez is focused on becoming the first Cuban to capture the heavyweight championship of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Frank Sanchez.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Quiero primeramente darle las gracias a mi manager, Mike Corrado, y Guadalupe Valencia, el promotor.
First of all, I'd like to thank my manager, Mike Barrera, Lupe Valencia, my manager, and my promoter, Warriors
Por darme
Valencia,
la oportunidad de estar aquí en PBC.
for the great opportunity to be here on PBC.
Así que el sábado va a ser una buena pelea y nada, espero lo mejor de mí.
Saturday is going to be a great fight, and you can expect a great performance from me.
Yo voy a welcome, deseo suerte en su pelea el sábado.
I wish Joey luck on Saturday, but not too much luck.
Y nada, que yo voy a demostrar que yo soy el mejor aquí.
And I'm going to demonstrate that I'm one of the best in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Frank Sanchez. Now we will go ahead and transition into our co-main event, also in the heavyweight division. This man, 32 years of age from Romania. His record, 17 wins, 9 losses coming by way of knockout. Opposite 6 defeats. He went ahead and fought for the heavyweight championship against Joseph Parker. Lost by decision, got back in the win column in October after his previous 3 fights saw him go up against the likes of Luis Ortiz, Daniel Dubois, and Nathan Gorman. So he is certainly battle-tested. He's a veteran. He has a very solid boxing foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Razvan Kajanu.
Hello guys. Is that okay? First of all, I want to thank to everyone for being here. Thank you guys, because without you we cannot perform. Second thing, I want to excuse my language. English is my second language. I'm not so lucky to have a translator, but we are working on it. The third thing, I want to thank God for allowing us to be healthy on these tough times, followed by the viruses, all these things were happening around. What can I say regarding the guy which I'm fighting with Efe? I respect him a lot, he's a great prospect, and I can tell one thing, I'm ready for him, and this time I really feel very confident on myself. I had a great camp, 6 weeks, followed by the help of Paul and Mike, which I want to thank them so much. I want to thank to my team and my family who support me a lot. I'm very thankful to the promotion, TGB promotion, for allowing me to have this fight. I'm very happy to be first time on BBC, on Fox. And what can I say? Best of luck with all the fights. All of us to came healthy at the end of the night and to have a great performance. Thank you very much.
I don't know about you guys, but his English sounds pretty good to me. I thought he did a wonderful job, and the fact that it's his second language, my goodness. Well, now we will talk with his adversary on Saturday night. He's undefeated, 12 wins, no losses, 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He was a 2016 Olympian representing his native country of Nigeria, fighting out of Stafford, Texas, where he trains with renowned trainer and coach and a man who's been there, done that at the highest level over and over and over again. To my right, Ronnie Shields. It's acknowledged Ronnie Shields, one of the best trainers in all of boxing. He's been with the best of the best and some. So I want to give you a quick story about Efe Ajagba. He fought Curtis Harper back in August of 2018 in Minneapolis. I was calling the fight, and the bell rings, and the guy looks at him and walks out of the ring. He wanted no part to do with him. I'm not going to ask him to take off his shirt now, but he's literally built out of granite. I've never seen in my career, there are a lot of guys that have a lot more experience than me in this room, but I don't think any of us have ever seen the bell ring and the opponent walk out of the ring and walk to the back because they don't want to take not one punch from him. I would do the same thing, so I kind of don't blame Curtis Harper. But that's neither here nor there. He picked up a win in July over a very tough and rugged competitor, Ali Demarizi, who was also a 2016 Olympian. Followed it up by recently capturing an exciting firefight over Yago Kawaitis in December. He was actually put down for the first time in his career. But when it comes to fighters, you know that they have the potential to be special when they rise above and they face adversity. Efe Ajagba faced adversity for the first time in his career. He came out and he wiped out Yago Kawaitis in the 5th round. He didn't even let it go to the decision. He finished him off before the first half of the fight was completed. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, in my opinion, one of the fastest rising heavyweights in the sport. Here is the one and only Efe Ajagba.
Hello, gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And first of all, I want to thank God for this opportunity that I'm here today. And I want to thank TGB Promotions, Crystal Sport Promotion, Finland Boxing for having me on the great show and putting me on the heavyweight fight. So I'm looking forward to Saturday night. So I want to thank the media and my fans for being here today. So you guys are so immense. And I want to thank my opponent for accepting the challenge. You know, he's a great champ, you know, so he's a wonderful boxer. So you know, so he accepted the challenge. He really is good. Looking forward to Saturday night. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Efe Ajagba. We now transition to our main event of the evening in the heavyweight division. Don't forget, tickets still available at Ticketmaster.com, or you can go to Barclays Center box office to get your tickets now. Nothing like watching a prize fight at Barclays Center, an incredible venue for boxing. But this man, 29 wins, 18 of those coming by way of knockout against 3 defeats, fighting out and representing Finland. He will fight in the United States for the second time. The first time he fought in the U.S., it didn't necessarily go his way when he lost to Gerald Washington, but he rebounded impressively with the second round knockout in November. He has won 4 of his last 5. He has an extensive amateur background, I believe, over 200 amateur fights. He certainly has been in the ring with some of the world's best. You cannot count him out whatsoever, and he's extremely focused and dedicated and ready to potentially and make that upset over Adam Kownacki. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Robert Helenius.
Hello, everybody. I don't know how to stop this good speeches that you're already been. So, of course, I want to thank everybody who's involved that I can be here and giving me this opportunity to make a good fight on Saturday. I want to wish every fighter good luck on Saturday. Yeah, I'm ready. I think I've said everything already in many press conferences. I have a good camp, good training. Everything has been great. So I want to thank everybody again for letting me be here. And good luck to every fighter.
Robert Helenius, ladies and gentlemen. And now we will get to the man who has his name on the marquee for the second straight time. He's undefeated, 20-0, 16 wins coming by way of a knockout. He's fought at Barclays Center 9 times. Saturday night will mark his 10th time, and Keith mentioned it in his opening comments. 30 years of age. He was originally born in Poland, moved here to Brooklyn when he was 7 years of age. And the one item that I will tell you about Polish fight fans, they are passionate. They love their fighters, and do they come out not just wearing their colors, they come out with the flags, they start chanting, they make noise from the time the doors open up at 4 or 5 o'clock, whenever the doors are going to open up. I'll get that to you guys in a few moments, but they are so passionate and they love their fighters. You look at Andrew Galata, you look at Tomasz Admak, you look at Paulo Wolak as well. There is a rich tradition when it comes to top-level Polish prize fighters, and this young man is in the prime of his career. His last fight was the first time he headlined live on Fox. Just to give you an idea, he fought Chris Arreola. He set the CompuBox record for most punches thrown. Most punches landed, him and Arreola. That is in heavyweight history since CompuBox has been around for the past 25 years. The numbers don't lie when it comes to Adam Kownacki. He packs a whale of a punch, he has a fan-friendly style, and he brings everything in the kitchen sink every single time he steps in between those ropes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated, the baby-faced assassin, Adam Kownacki.
Thank you. I'd like to thank TGB, BBC for making this happen. I love fighting here in Barclays Center. It's been 10 times. It's almost half my career. It's my second home. Thank you, Fox, for putting on a great countdown show and putting on the fight live for millions of people to watch. It's been very friendly at the press conference. Usually you watch this stuff, people talk a lot of smack. It's pretty friendly, so I think that's good. There's a lot of respect, and we're here to put on a great show for you fans on Saturday. So see you guys then.
Adam Kownacki, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to ask the guys a few questions while we are up here. I'll start off with Joey DeVenco. Joey, for you, taking on Frank Sanchez. I mentioned that you've been in a camp with some of the world's best. Do you feel like your experience, having been around the sport for so long and having tested your skills against everybody, that's going to benefit you from an experience standpoint against the undefeated Frank Sanchez on Saturday? We got the mic on, guys? There you go.
I think definitely the experience plays a big part. I had a great amateur career, been around the world. I think the experience is definitely going to play a big part in this. I've been in sparring and camp with all the champions right now, so I mean, to answer your question, it's going to play a big part.
How do you see the fight going down on Saturday? You know, in a perfect world.
Well, how I'm going to put it is my perfect world. Frank is a good fighter, but he's not ready for me. Like I said, the experience part. He's going to come out and he's going to try to box me and do that, but I'm going to be too much for him. It's going to be too much. I'm predicting a knockout.
All right, Joey DeVeco predicted a knockout against Frank Sanchez. Mike Borrello, is Mike around here somewhere? Mike, I'm going to ask Frank a question. And Frank, how do you respond to Joey's comments that he feels like he's going to knock you out on Saturday night? How do you respond to that?
Frank, ¿qué tú piensas de que Joey dice que le va a noquear el sábado?
¿Que va a noquear?
Sí.
No, eso es por gusto, eso no va a noquear a nadie.
No, he's not knocking out anybody.
Primeramente, no me va ni a golpear.
First of all, he's not even going to hit me.
Una, por la defensa que yo tengo, los movimientos y como yo jugar la calle.
With my defense and movement, it's not going to happen.
Man, I've been in with better fighters than you. In my
Grab the microphone, Joey.
I've been in better fighters in my pro career. I'm not talking about sparring, fighting wise. I've been in with better guys, and they couldn't do nothing to me. So I don't know. He's gonna be in for a big shot. I'm telling you that.
Él dice que estuvo en el ring con muchos mejores que tú, profesional, y que vas a tener difícil la noche, ¿sabes?
Que ha estado con mucho mejor que yo.
En el ring, sí.
No diré que ninguno son como yo.
He said, no one you've ever fought like me.
Que no lo
We'll see on Saturday night. We'll see. I ain't worried about nothing that you got. I've seen everything before. You have nothing that I've never seen.
Él dice que tú no tienes nada que
You're gonna be in a big shock on Saturday.
que vas a estar sorprendido, ¿sabes?
Sorprendido va a quedar él con el brazo en la cara. Que sorprendido se va a quedar él mismo cuando le dé un tremendo knockout ahí.
Joey's the one that's going to be shocked when I deliver a tremendous knockout.
They're both predicting knockouts.
Get out of here. You want to get out of here, man. You can't knock me out.
This is why I love the heavyweight
You're a
division, because they
cruiserweight.
both can go
Yo,
ahead
you're a
and do it.
cruiserweight, dude.
Dice que eres
Get out of here.
crucero.
No, soy crucero, heavyweight, todo soy yo.
No. You never fought nobody like me. You've never been in the ring with nobody
A
like
ver,
me.
papi, en el ring nos vemos el sábado.
He said, I'll see you in the ring on Saturday.
I'm gonna treat you like a baby. That's how it's gonna be. I'm gonna treat you like a little kid.
Eso déjalo para el sábado demuéstralo.
I'm gonna treat you like a little kid.
All right, well, Saturday night we will find out. But man, that's the first fight of the card on Fox. I mean, they don't like each other. Wait until 2 days from now at Barclays Center. Let's get to our co-main event. We'll see if these guys are going to exchange pleasantries as well. Razvan Kajanu. Razvan, you mentioned in your training camp that in the lead up to this fight against Efe Ajagba, that you had a full training camp, you're totally healthy. How good do you feel heading into this fight, knowing that you had the proper time to prepare for the undefeated knockout sensation, Efe Ajagba?
I forgot to mention something very important. For this particular fight, I got the blessing and the chance to work with a great coach, which is Henry Tillman. He's a smart coach, right?
Round of applause for Henry Tillman, ladies and gentlemen. I believe, if I'm correct, beat Mike Tyson, correct? Did you beat, he beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson did not make it to the Olympics because Henry Tillman, the trainer of Razvan Kajanu, beat him. And I believe you're an Olympic gold medalist, correct, Henry? Made it to the Olympic team. So, round of applause for Henry Tillman. I am so impressed with the trainer of Razvan Kajanu, certainly a legend in boxing. Razvan, continue working with Henry Tillman.
Okay, now you can say the coach is not gonna be in the ring helping me, like a joke, But that's not the plan. The plan is in this my last 6 weeks of my life. I've been very strict and I believe in him and I believe in his judgment regarding the technique, regarding this following fight with F. I think we're gonna do great. Saturday night you guys, all of you gonna have a big surprise because I'm an underdog. You know, nobody think me. I mean, so like FA is the champion and he's the winner from the beginning. But I feel good. And the other very important stuff is it's no pressure on my shoulders. For real.
So you have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
No, and I'm doing this for my family and I love boxing. Man. I don't know if you guys believe me. I'm doing this for my wife and my kids. I swear to God. And for myself too, because you know, and I believe in karma. It's time to get the payback. You know?
Yeah.
All right, Razvan Kajani, very focused indeed with his new trainer, Henry Tillman. An outstanding, career for Henry as well. FF for you, looking at taking on Razvan Kajani. Let's take a step back and look at your last fight against Iago Kalaitis. How much did you learn from that fight? You faced adversity for the first time in your career, and you came out and looked tremendous, knocking out Kalaitis in the 5th round. How much did you learn and grow as a fighter working with your esteemed trainer, Ronnie Shields?
In that fight, because, Jago Colasi, like, he already hurt. So I'm trying to finish him up, but I didn't know, like, he has a plan for the right hand. So, when I tried to finish him up, then my guard was down. So, no protection for me to take a shot. That's why he landed the shot on me. That's why I fell. When I fell on the ground, I stood up. And I asked myself, what's going to happen? So, but I was okay. And I came back, I finished him up.
What's your prediction against your adversary, Razvan Kajani, on Saturday? How's it going down?
Well, if it's up to him, if I take my punch, because, but sometimes, like, he knows, like, he needs to train hard. He train hard, prepare for the fight, so he fought so great fighter. He fought Daniel Dubois, he fought Louis Otis, so, he has a lot of experience. So, but, to me, because I know he's going to try to box, he try to fight, but, you see what happens, because if it's up to him, he'll take my shot, he can take my punch.
All right, well, F.A. Chakbab, good luck to both of you. Now we will transition to our main event. Robert Helenius. Robert, for you, coming into this matchup against Adam Kownacki, you are an underdog, but how is it going to be different in your second fight here stateside compared to your first? How good are you feeling? Did you come here earlier? How's your body adapted when it comes to getting ready for your matchup on Saturday?
Yeah, so this time we came 2 weeks earlier, so that the time difference is getting my body getting adapted to this. We've been sparring 1 week in Alabama now. We've been doing everything right, and the training camp has been great. We've been sparring a lot of rounds, and I feel great.
How much do you get motivated from the fight fans in Finland, and you were born in Sweden? You have a great deal of fan support in your home area.
Yeah, I also lived 6 years in Germany, so I probably have a lot of fans in Germany as well. Of course, they are the whole spirits. Like without them, I couldn't do this. Without their support, but this time. Everything has been like perfect in training camp, and I feel confident, more confident than in many years. So I've been training for now at least a couple of years without a broken hand. Before that, I was constantly injured, and I had big surgeries everywhere. So now, these 2 years with this training, Johan Lindström,
Totally healthy.
totally healthy.
All right, Robert Helenius, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to my right, the man who made events as well, Adam Kownacki. Adam, this journey for you has been what a wonderful ride, but knowing that you are on the cusp of potentially challenging for the heavyweight championship of the world, how much does that motivate you?
Truly a lot. Robert is it's a very first fight. It's a big opportunity for him. I'm ranking very high in all these federations, and the title shot is right around the corner. I could be waiting, but I decided to take on a good test in Robert. So I just can't wait to show off, and I'm ready to fight for the title on soon.
Can you tell us, in your fight against Chris Areola, the fans were there early, they were loud, they were chanting, you saw the Polish flags everywhere. What kind of emotion do you feel from that fan base that comes out here to Barclays Center, because that is becoming known as your home, your house, and this is your second straight time headlining. How excited do you get when you see that fan support?
It's truly amazing. I mean, growing up, I was boxing as Andrew Galata. So I was one of those fans growing up, but just cheering for other people. First it was Andrew Galata, then it was Tom Sadamek. And now I know, I try to be the next motivation for the next up-and-coming young kids that are fighting, the Polish kids or whatever, to see, oh, he made it. He came to the States as an immigrant with, probably I wasn't the best athlete ever, but I just kept working hard, kept making the right decisions, and so close to the title shot, you know, and I know Robert's on the way, and I just gotta get to him, you know.
Can you dive into detail about, you and Chris Areola, the record for most punches thrown and most punches landed in the heavyweight division. Where do you get that gas tank from? Because we haven't ever seen anything like that since CompuBox has been around.
You've been in the fight, so you hear the fans yelling, and that definitely adds the extra motivation and extra energy in the later rounds.
In a perfect world, how does the fight end on Saturday night when you main event against Robert Helenius?
Spectacular knockout. You know, I was trying to prove that I'm one of the top heavyweights, if not the best in the world, and I just gotta take care of Robert, you know.
Well, and finally, what do you want to tell all the fans as they're getting ready to make their journey once again here to Barclays?